What's up, guys? BARRYGAMING here, back with some more Eternal Evolution. Yes, we are back. If you're new to the game, make sure you guys use that link in the description. But I want to talk about something that just hit the live servers, and that is the Dominic event. So let's be honest, I even did a bunch for this one too, because I'm currently going through, and he's quickly becoming my favorite hero in the game outside of Nord. Pairing him with Nord and other heroes literally turns him into the best damage dealer in the game. If you don't have him, you're going to want him. Now, is he going to solo things like someone like a Nord would for a lot of the content? Absolutely not. Nord is still, I think, hands down, without a doubt, the best overall hero in the game just because of how crazy good he is. And there is a chance to get him this week. Not free to play, and not even for like the light spenders out there, because if you take a look, there are custom packs that you can create this week. One of them includes Nord. Now granted, you could argue, well, you know, hey, if you really look at this closely, you're getting both a gene hybrid and a hero copy, but he's 200. Oh, that's so bad. You can get just a regular gene hybrid and your summons pretty much for the same amount you normally would, the 100, because if you really take a look and go to the value packs, the monthly packs, I mean, you're getting 60 essentially. You're getting a hero copy just from the limited recruitment cards, not even counting the chips that gives you as well, and the gene hybrid. So it's like this one is a better version of it, honestly, because you're still getting those diamonds as well. However, when you go to some of the other packs here, like, yeah, you can get some orange exclusives and stuff like this. Pretty solid overall. The bottom one, not the best necessarily, but again, it just depends on what your budget is and what you're planning on spending on. Again, Nord is available. A lot to go for, I guess, if you've never really spent on the game and you just want to get your first copy and then go crazy with gene hybrids. Yeah, for 400 you can get him halfway to immortal. This one might not be a bad one. If you guys are someone who typically gets the gene package monthly, consider it. But the big takeaway from this event, in my opinion, is the fact that we are getting the Dominic banner. Now, Botmark is an amazing hunter to get to if you don't have a lot of good heroes. Hercules, not really all that important. And then on top of that, you also have the event shop. So I did 80 just to make sure I could get to this hero. Actually, I think I did 120 just to make sure I could get all the way up and get a guaranteed copy. I managed to pull 3 copies plus this event, which was really good for us. If you do want to go further, of course you can, but if you do 180, that basically guarantees you 2 additional copies, 3 copies from here, and then you're probably having a good chance to get at least 1 or 2 more there. So a few gene hybrids will finish it out for you. We're saving up some of our enhanced or enciphered. It's all we mess with the chips moving forward. But Dominic is by far probably one of the best damage dealers in the game. Now, the way I run mine isn't necessarily the best way to do it. I like running a 4-piece Marauder set, mainly because he does lack survivability. The way his skills work are interesting because if we take a look at it, he does require another assassin or vanguard hero to be on the battlefield at the same time. So he does have damage reduction built in. If he doesn't have that damage reduction built in, he is pretty squishy overall. You really want to go for this. But what makes him such a dominant hero is his active ability, his ultimate ability, Fire Shuriken. Dominic throws a shuriken at the target, dealing damage equal to 800% of attack and applying a mark. When Dominic attacks, he prioritizes the mark target. When the mark disappears, it explodes, dealing damage equal to 100% of the attack, plus an additional 17% of the crit damage received during that mark. So that includes all other heroes, maximum up to 7,000% of his attack. Now, if you're doing a PvE game mode, I would most definitely try to gear him more crit and attack oriented myself. But overall, for survivability, so that you don't have to even run a support hero if you don't want to, I do like the Marauder set. It helps a ton. Now, this is really, really big. We do, of course, have his exclusive all the way up, which is really awesome. When the mark disappears, it explodes, dealing damage to targets within a radius. It increases it up to 10,000. Definitely worth it if you're going for a max damage style build on him. And then, of course, we now also have his talents up to Immortal EX2, which is good. So we have him maxed out extraordinary 120 of 120 as well. Essentially why this is good is because it doesn't matter what team you're running him in. He's good in PvP. He's good in a lot of these PvE scenarios here. Crimson Abyss, I even run him on our team where we don't have the greatest Crimson Abyss, let's just be honest there. But even if we're talking about fights like certain fights, Terror Dome, very, very solid. Even in the newest game mode here, the Endless Battle here, this one is a very solid one. I'll actually use him on the Spider King lair. Even though the energy heroes have the bonus here, essentially what we do is we're running a team like this where, you know, we're going for high energy costs. The other thing is Phantom Cloak is absolutely awesome on him. It's really, really good. But essentially what we do is you want to go 1 speed and you want to run your main damage dealers to line up with his power. So I'll show you the little chart here to see how the damage runs out. He stays pretty solid overall, even just by himself. But what we want to do is we want to sync up all these active abilities if possible with Dominic. And essentially what I want to do is I want to drag it down over here somewhere. I want to pull these guys towards the back and I want to try to get Nord to a location where he can also hit where Dominic's hitting. Actually, just for the ease of this, I'm going to put you on auto. We're going to feed more energy to Nord here. And if we're only doing these guys, we'll double the speed back up. So here's the goal here. You can watch, yeah, Nord is pulling ahead in damage overall, but watch what happens the second Dominic gets to be in a situation where he can hit. Come on, I just hate dragging this around trying to find the right target. Right there. We're going to get that over there, and then we're going to start going crazy with our Res and our Nord, basically capitalizing on that bonus damage. Watch his damage meter right here. It shoots up the second that mark just explodes, and we're going to try to do that over and over and try to get the best score possible, and we're going to try to make sure we're doing this as centered on the pack as possible. That way we can get the maximum damage benefit. I'm kind of off on my timing here as far as my res energy, because you'll notice it's blowing up before we're getting our second one, but he's literally rivaling our Nord in what's arguably the best game mode for Nord to actually be in. Like, it's just so much. And the way all these things sync up, you can really, this might be a really big one right here. I think we're going to get all these ultimate abilities in the same one. Yep, we got both of them off, and then boom, big amounts of damage, and it ends up being one of the best like damage combos in the game. Now the nice thing about Dominic too is you don't need to only run him in like a Nord setup here. You can actually run it in a different setup depending on what game mode you're in, because there might be a game mode where Nord isn't the best damage dealer, or you need to use like all your assassins. It doesn't really matter, because so long as you have another damage dealer on the board, is going to be some big damage. That time I fed the energy just a little bit incorrectly there, but you'll see our damage is pretty solid for where we are on like what, 5-6 month old account, something like that. It's not the oldest account out there for sure, but we do have the Nord. Luckily we got Nord week 3 on this account. Sadly, for other people that are more I need to get this out there. For people who are newer to the game, it's been a long time since Nord's been attainable, so that is probably one of the downfalls. We can definitely optimize this more, but you can see how he literally is, I mean, he's basically keeping up with Nord in a game mode that is literally made for Nord, and it just goes to show you can kind of run him in any battle you possibly want, so long as crit damage is a thing. There are some ones that are geared more towards vanguards and stuff that you can't crit. If that's the case, Dominic is not good. But if you're doing an assassin wave or something like that, he synergizes so well with other assassins as well. Like, literally, Rickard and him are my favorite combo. I can't wait till we get a third new assassin, because honestly, the triple team that I typically use includes them and of course Bailey, but Bailey just, oh my god, he pales in comparison when it comes to these two here, especially Dominic. The flexibility he has, the healing he has, absolutely amazing. So let me know what you guys think about Dominic. You might want to pick him up. Sadly, still no Nord. I mean, one day we'll get him. Hopefully we will. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. We'll be making some daily content once again, and I'll see you guys next time.